In the 21st century, classrooms need to be a vastly different place than the classrooms of the 20th century. Today's classrooms must be flexible, creative, challenging, and complex. They must address a rapidly changing world filled with fantastic new problems as well as exciting new possibilities. The world is facing such rapid and drastic change that when our students step into the world beyond high school, they will face problems that we don't even know yet are problems and step into careers that have never before been an option. This is why it is critical that our students experience lessons in which they learn to collaborate, both on and offline, communicate for a variety of purposes, think critically about information and issues, and to practice their creativity as they face real-world challenges. We are going to take a look inside 4 of our classrooms whose teachers and students are experiencing a true 21st century learning environment. Each one of these teachers has instilled a love of learning into his or her students, and the problems they work on are relevant and have authentic audiences. Technology plays a key role as a necessary tool that the students use to access learning and to produce authentic work that demonstrates what they know. Let's begin in Barney Peterson's 4th grade class at Monroe Elementary. Last year, her class embarked upon a project that would teach them about the systems in their building that work together to ensure the school is a safe and secure environment for learning. Mrs. Peterson brought in Darcy Walker, the EPS construction manager, to give a tour to the students and to bring in the various people that worked on the building so that the students could learn from them about the systems and how they work. Their goal was to create a series of videos about the systems that could be accessed from QR readers on phones and tablets. The QR codes are placed around the school so that visitors can learn about what they are looking at. Because they didn't quite finish up before summer, her students voluntarily chose to come back this year every Thursday after school so that they could complete this rigorous project.
This trifold board is about the different systems in our school. We started this project because the students in Miss Barney Peterson's 4th grade class last year were curious about how this school works, all the systems and stuff.
Well, at first we tried to use iPads and Movie Maker, but that didn't really work. So then we went straight to Movie Makers, and then that worked, So then we just used QR tags and then Movie Maker to make our videos.
Sometimes, like kids from different groups, we have different activities after school. So sometimes some kids weren't able to show up. So sometimes kids from different groups would take over that group and have to try to do 2 things at once.
At Whitney Elementary, the 4th and 5th grade students in Mr. Larama's and Mrs. Bailey's classes have been working with software that lets them design for the 3D printer that was received with a grant. Within the classrooms, the students are fluid in groupings and pairings. Students move from group to group based on who shares a common idea and wants to pursue it. They are given challenges and learn about the design process from idea to design to trial and error and then redesign. Additionally, these students are working through a rigorous curriculum of coding with the code.org website. When students are puzzling out challenges while coding, they have learned to ask other classmates until they are able to find someone who has figured out how to use the new command or logic argument with success, and then they work together to solve the puzzle. Both of these become highly collaborative efforts with students in need seeking out partners who hold keys to success.
Well, when there was a tech fair, and in the tech fair we were coming up with designs for how to hold our folders, and it was kind of hard because everyone had their own ideas, so we had to learn to compromise, calm down, and listen to everyone's idea.
Sometimes when we want to use the computer for it to go to code.org, and there's not a lot of computers, so we have to share the computers so everybody gets the same amount of time.
When we're programming and designing our objects, we have to really think critically and really think about it because it's really serious stuff.
Over at Eisenhower Middle School, Andrea Miles's block class is now using their cell phones and class tablets as a robust learning device. They use them for quick assessments throughout each day using a free online tool called Socrative. They also use them for review in groups, studying for assessments, and as a research tool that allows them to access real-time information that they can use as they are working on projects. One example is when they were first introduced to Ulysses. To introduce the topic, Miss Miles had them work in groups to investigate who the different gods and goddesses were in the text. Students then selected who they felt was the most interesting based on their research and created a wanted poster for that god or goddess. They had to find out why that deity might be considered bad, and then they used their creativity to develop the final product.
We have an app on our phone and iPads and stuff. It's so we can study for tests when we have it, like author's purpose, and find a good way how to use notes technology.
It'd be a really good resource because no one wants to write. Nobody likes to write anymore. They don't want to take the time, but they could just take that one picture. That would take 5 seconds faster.
You can have set up reminders on your phone, so reminder
Notes.
Homework, 4 o'clock, reminder do your notes, reminder study for a test, and so that's always good too.
Finally, in Mr. Cherniak's AP Environmental Science class, the students are working on a project called The World of 7 Billion. This campaign is an educational effort to help students understand how we got here, analyze the impact of our choices, and realize that our decisions can and will impact the future. The students have been tasked with investigating how the population of the world affects resources and how the potential scarcity of resources could affect our future. Instead of just gathering numbers, though, while working in collaborative groups, the students have been tasked with turning data into powerful infographics to be used in a video. The video must consider the interdependence of people and the planet as it illustrates the connection between population growth and either climate change, global poverty, or water sustainability. Working on a project like this means that students must collaborate beyond the school walls, and they have found many ways to use technology to ensure that their group is on track and able to create a final product that can be seen around the world.
Because we're doing a video project and because doing an infographic by hand doesn't make it attractive enough for an everyday person, we are using computers extensively. We're also using cameras and editing software and things like that. And we also have tablets in the classroom that we're using. So we've got some kids on computers, some kids on tablets, some kids on their own personal devices looking up information, and just people tackling these projects in many different ways, but all from the same standpoint of using technology to do it.
So this is an example of an infographic. It shows the year, and then sort of like in how the lighter green is Western Europe and how the black is USA, kind of like the different information, and sort of so you can understand it better visually.
The technology really helps us grasp the real issues within our world, because on our project specifically we're doing hunger in the world, so we are taking pictures from Google Images and these other websites that are trying to fundraise money, and we're taking those pictures to make infographics to help people better understand these large scale statistics that nobody would look twice at.
Pretty much all our actual communication on what to do is over the internet, but then the actual for most group projects we tend to get together in person and do it together, but all the organizing and planning, everything before the actual execution of the project is done over the computer or by phone.
In each of these classrooms, students are immersed in 21st century experiences in which they must collaborate, communicate, think critically, and use creativity to solve complex problems. Technology is a big part of this as a critical tool that allows students to learn and create products that impact the world beyond the classroom.